I honestly can't remember the last time I used a phone that attracted this much attention. The moment you raise the gimbal camera, people around you immediately start looking. And when you think about how long Honor has been teasing the robot phone, it makes this launch even more interesting. The story goes all the way back to the Alpha plan announced at last year's MWC, followed by its official announcement at this year's MWC. Then, in April, its companion, the Lightning robot, even completed a half marathon in Beijing and managed to beat a human record. And now, the robot phone has finally been officially released.
A quick shout out to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Maiky from techmaiky. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out our exciting tech content.
Just like the Lightning robot, the robot phone uses a titanium alloy gimbal motor module. Honor says it is currently the most compact titanium alloy motor of its kind in the industry. When the camera isn't being used, the entire mechanism discreetly folds away inside the camera deco area. Once you open the front window and launch the camera, simply tapping the button at the bottom activates it. The gimbal rises through 180 degrees in just 3 seconds, while all 3 axes unfold in under a second. That's seriously quick. Honor claims the 3-axis control system can reach a rotation speed of 360 degrees per second. But what does that actually mean in real-world use? Well, take a look. I switched the camera to its strongest stabilization setting, and no matter how aggressively I shake the phone, the subject remains locked on to me. At this point, I'm sure some smart viewers will have the same question. What's the point of putting a physical gimbal on a smartphone when modern phone cameras already have such capable EIS stabilization? Is a gimbal really necessary? These sample photos help explain the difference. Anyone who has ever tried photographing a sleeping cat on the street knows exactly what I mean. With a regular smartphone, you can certainly take a low-angle photo, but to get the camera down to the cat's eye level, you usually have to squat down. And honestly, it doesn't look particularly elegant. More importantly, once you're in your 30s, repeatedly squatting down and standing back up isn't exactly the most comfortable experience. The robot phone solves that problem by integrating its viewfinder directly with the gimbal camera. You can simply adjust the gimbal's angle and capture those low-angle shots without having to awkwardly crouch down. You can even double-tap the screen, which means you don't have to manually follow the camera's movement yourself. As for the camera hardware, the robot phone comes with a very complete triple-camera setup. The gimbal main camera uses a 1.28-inch 200-megapixel sensor, while the telephoto camera is equipped with an even larger 1.4-inch 200-megapixel sensor. Because it uses a conventional periscope telephoto design, it can achieve a relatively close focusing distance, which also makes it useful for macro photography. That's a nice bonus. The 50-megapixel ultra-wide camera is more than adequate as well. But perhaps the more important part is the color science. Honor has worked with Alibaba to bring cinematic color science to the phone, along with support for LOG C3 color curves and Alibaba's 3D LUTs. The overall idea almost feels like someone managed to squeeze a miniature ARRI cinema camera into a smartphone. Now, instead of relying only on what we can see with our eyes, let's move straight over to the lab equipment and take a closer look at the objective performance of this camera system. When shooting in gimbal mode, the main camera's MTF10 resolution reaches the limit of what the sensor can deliver, both under strong lighting and weak lighting conditions. That puts its performance firmly into flagship territory. The level of detail is also impressive. Under strong light, the MTF10 reaches 994, while even in low light, it remains at 918. That means there's very little resolution loss as the lighting gets weaker. And when you zoom into the actual sample photos, the details line up very closely with what we're seeing in the laboratory measurements. A major reason for this is likely the gimbal stabilization itself. Because the camera can remain stable, it can use a lower ISO and slower shutter speed, while also combining multiple frames to create cleaner, lower noise night images with higher overall purity. The laboratory measurements for visual noise in low light conditions back this up as well. Nighttime shading is relatively consistent across the frame. When it comes to color, the camera takes a realistic approach, with relatively low saturation in both strong and weak lighting conditions. You can see this clearly in the sample photos. Compared with Honor's previous default camera tuning, which had a much more vivid and almost sci-fi-like appearance, this new approach feels more natural and easier on the eyes. The same philosophy carries over to the telephoto camera. Its overall rendering is restrained and realistic, making the images comfortable to look at and less likely to feel tiring over time. At the same time, this style leaves more flexibility for post-processing. And when we look at the actual test results, the telephoto camera's Delta-C performance is very close to that of the main camera, showing that the two cameras maintain a strong level of color consistency.
As a handheld cinema camera, the combination of ARRI's color pipeline and the RoboPhone's gimbal makes it possible for a single person to capture footage that would normally require an entire production team. The RoboPhone gimbal comes with 5 complete stabilization modes, along with pre-image tracking. And if you want to move beyond conventional shooting styles and experiment a little, there are also automatic 90 and 180-degree camera rotation options. These movements are more stable and offer a higher success rate than trying to control the camera manually. The short film you're seeing here was recorded using the RoboPhone's gimbal in ARRI Cinema mode at 4K 60 FPS with log C3. The footage was then color-corrected during post-production. You can take a look and judge the final image quality for yourself. One question a lot of people have is how much heat this tiny gimbal produces during operation, so we ran a straightforward test. In a room at 25 degrees Celsius with 50% relative humidity and with the screen brightness set to 50%, we recorded high-specification 4K 60 FPS log C3 video continuously for 15 minutes. During the test, the gimbal reached a peak temperature of more than 50 degrees Celsius. To be honest, that is a fairly noticeable amount of heat for such a compact gimbal recording system, but considering the size and performance of the mechanism, the temperature is already reasonably well controlled. And if you're still concerned about heat, Romo has also created a dedicated gimbal cooler. The best part is that it doesn't require its own power source and can be used either with a phone case or without one. But the RoboPhone isn't simply a gimbal camera backed by ARRI. It also represents Yo-Yo's first large-scale gimbal. This gimbal essentially becomes the robot's eyes for seeing the world and its little head for interacting with you. It can continuously watch you, have conversations, offer suggestions, and respond differently depending on what you do. It even moves its head while music is playing, and with voice commands, it can help you locate things and take photos. Those little movements genuinely make it feel more like a robot rather than just another smartphone. For me, though, the most useful functions are video calling and automatic tracking during live streams. Since you don't have to physically hold the phone, you can concentrate entirely on the conversation or whatever you're doing on camera. Now, coming back to the RoboPhone itself, I actually really like its 6.31-inch size. Yes, it uses a flat display and a straight-back design, and at 248 grams with a thickness of 9.59 millimeters, it is definitely thicker and heavier than a typical smartphone. But Honor has carefully shaped the edges of the metal frame, so it doesn't feel uncomfortable or overly sharp in your hand. In fact, the overall grip and feel were better than I expected, and surprisingly, the phone didn't seem as heavy as I had imagined. And then there's something I absolutely didn't expect to see in 2026, a retro-style phone lanyard hole. Finding one on a cutting-edge AI smartphone with a built-in gimbal was genuinely surprising. It feels like Honor really understands what camera-focused flagship users are looking for this time. Although the RoboPhone feels better in the hand than I initially expected, there is one thing you need to keep in mind. The camera module uses a glass cover, so putting the phone directly on a table could potentially damage it. The protective window can be removed for cleaning or replacement, but personally, I would still recommend using the phone with a case. As you would expect from a flagship, the internal hardware is also very powerful. The RoboPhone is equipped with the 5th-generation Snapdragon 8 Elite platform and a huge 7,060 mAh battery. It supports 120-watt wired charging as well as 50-watt wireless charging. And despite the complicated gimbal mechanism inside, the phone still offers IP54 protection.
The 6.31-inch 1.5K OLED display is another strong point. Using our CS2000A laboratory equipment, we measured a maximum manual brightness of 836 nits. Under full screen brightness testing, the display can go beyond 2000 nits, which is seriously impressive. Even better, both brightness uniformity and color temperature uniformity are above 98%. When it comes to color, every display mode supports both the sRGB and P3 color gamuts. Both the standard and professional modes also deliver excellent color reproduction, and accurate color reproduction is especially important on a camera-focused device because what you see on the display plays a major role in how effectively you can judge and express your images. From the original concept all the way to the finished product, the RoboPhone represents Honor's vision of what smartphones could become and the company's continued investment in new technology. To me, the RoboPhone sits right at the meeting point between the present and the future of smartphones. On one side, you have familiar and increasingly advanced camera technology. On the other, you have a much more futuristic direction centered around AI. That said, the AI experience still feels somewhat immature at this stage, and it will need continuous OTA updates to become more capable and refined over time. As smartphones begin developing their own moving eyes, the bigger question becomes whether these devices can eventually understand and interpret the world in the way we want them to. The Honor RoboPhone starts at 9,999 yuan in China, which is roughly 1,199 pounds in the UK and around $1,483 in the US. And there's already another interesting possibility on the horizon. It's rumored that the Magic 9 could also adopt a full range of ARRI camera technologies, which is definitely something to watch. Hopefully, the smartphone industry continues producing more unusual and exciting devices like the RoboPhone. We don't need dozens of them every year. Even 2 or 3 genuinely interesting products like this would be enough. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it or found it useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.